But when you look around, you find out that life is still just the same. Even though you are earning money, even though you're trying to save, even though you're trying to push your family, but things are just the same. Sometimes people ask, why? What is happening? Why are things like this? And then we try to lie to ourselves by saying that, you know what, life is just hard. Nowadays, money is just little. 1,000 Kenya shillings, when you go to the shop, it's done. It's done. So money today is not enough. That's how a lazy person and somebody who doesn't have plans talk. We will always see problems. We will always see negative sides. We will always see something to hold on and to blame. You see, we play a hide and seek with our lives, with our pockets, with our finances, until it reaches a point when you lose hope with life. You're now just working for your stomach. You're working hand to mouth. You're working not to improve your life, but you're working to live. You have been in Saudi Arabia, you have been in Bahrain, you have been in Canada, you have been in the US, you have been in South Africa, or maybe in Tanzania or Uganda, or perhaps you came from the village and you are in Nairobi. You have been working for so many years, but nothing is changing. What changes is your diet every single day. That is what changes in your life. And again, what changes is the types of clothes you are wearing. You open your wardrobe, you have all the designs, the new designs. You have all the types of shoes. You open your kitchen, you've got all, the plates or glasses, all kinds of them you have. But something is not changing in your life. Your financial status is remaining the same. The question people don't ask themselves is, why is this happening? Instead, we blame it on something else. We will blame it on government. We will blame it on the little salary we are earning. We will blame it on the need of our families and friends. We will blame it on something. We will always find an excuse. We will always find an excuse to get things in the way they are, instead of trying to make things right. So today I want to tell you something, and I will give personal example. I will use my own example, and I will tell you how I changed my mind and my life into becoming financially stable. Not stable that I'm a millionaire, I'm so rich, but are you comfortable financially? And being comfortable financially is not that you need to go to somewhere and donate millions of money, but do you like what you have in your bank account? Do you like what you have as investments outside there? Not liking your diet, not liking your wardrobe, not liking your beddings, not liking your plates or maybe your utensils, not your shoes, not the mobile phone you're using, not the car you're driving, because a car is a liability. This is not an investment. A car depreciates every single day. If you have a land, I'm Great Chelam. If you have a piece of land somewhere, that's an investment. If you have shares with other companies or maybe some kind of banks, that's an investment. But then the question is your life changing? Are you just remaining the same place where you are? So one thing that I would like to share with you that you have to take to 2022 to make at least something better in your life. And this is what I tell people. And today I saw one comedian, I don't know what his name, Joker somebody, I don't know, he's a Ugandan comedian who said that, he posted a video talking about, I'm new, people now are commenting, people are posting, and people are telling themselves that 2022, I'm becoming new thing, new me, new. It doesn't work like that. You don't become new because a year has changed. If you have never been new, if you're not becoming new every single day throughout the year, you're waiting for the year to change, for you to change to become new, then you've been wasting your time. Stop wasting your time to wait until the year ends so that you can change to be new. You have to change these things every single day you wake up in the morning. You're waking up as a new person. So number one, when I left home, you see, even before I left, I will use my story so that people at least can get to understand why I motivate people, why I talk to people. I'll take a short time to use my own example. So when I was back in Kenya, before leaving Kenya for Bahrain, I used to work so hard. That was back in 2010, 2012, and 2013. I worked so hard for those 4 years, saving money, trying to pay my fees, save money to pay my fees to go to college, helping my sister who was also in the college that time, was doing her diploma, and just trying to make ends meet. So I used to save money, and that time I did not even know how to do the investment, so I only used to save money. So I saved money for some time, and a friend of mine that I really appreciate and I always thank, even though sometimes he gets weird, I don't want to mention his name, but he knows himself, introduced me to a certain what we call contracts or tenders to supply these building materials, because by then I was working in a building material shop. So I used to supply this to those people who had projects building houses, building homes. So this guy came to me and told me that, you know what, John, I just like how you do things. You have supplied me with so many things and I want to make you get something out of it. So I can help you get tenders with schools. I can help you get tenders with hospitals, so you can supply them and you get commission out of it, and you give your boss whatever he's supposed to get. So I shared with my boss, who was my uncle, and my uncle told me that, you know what, I don't like to be paid by these check things. I cannot wait for checks. I'm so tired waiting for checks to mature. These school things, sometimes you supply them, they take 3 months, 4 months to pay, so I'm not comfortable. So I thought about it and I said, what do I do? I had some little savings. I said, I will use my savings to supply these things and then wait for the check to mature, get the check it and cash it, and then get back my money with the profit and give my uncle what he deserves. So you know what happens if you're from Kenya, you know it. If you're supplying a government entity or a parastatal, you have to put what we call percentage, marked up percentage, where you add some amount of money on top of every purchase. So for example, a bag of cement that time was going at 850 shillings. So I used to supply it at 900, sometimes 910. So you can imagine 60 shillings in each and every bag. So from that I got some money. I created some money, and after saving that money, I started my own business. So I did business for 1 year, and then the opportunity to go outside Kenya came. And you know how it is always. When you see something like you wanna, board an aeroplane, you rush, you make those signatures, you sign, you look at the contract. I looked at it and I said, all right, this is a good one. So I had to travel to Bahrain. That time I had a business. Already I have business in Kenya, a business that was doing well, and I had, attracted a lot of the market, and the suppliers as well trusted me. They used to supply me without even paying a single cent. They will take the money once I've already sold. So I left the business in the hand of a family member that I really trusted. With everything, I gave her all the powers to handle the business, and I traveled to Bahrain. So to cut the story short, and the reason why I want to tell you how to manage your finances, so that at least in 2022, you get from the point where you are right now to another level. I want to cut the story short. Coming to Bahrain, I stayed for 1 year. Even before the first year in Bahrain, my business had collapsed back at home. And that business being there, you have to send money there to pump into it to increase the what we call it, the capital and the stock. So I used to do the same, restock and dispatch and that, just topping up to make it work out. It never worked. The first year in Bahrain, the business flopped. So what happens? You've got to go for a plan B. The same person who flopped the business told me that, you know what, it flopped because it wasn't my thing. I didn't know how to run it. It was not in my passion. I didn't know how to handle it. I understood. I said that, yeah, it could be right. Maybe what he's saying is right. So I just need to understand this wasn't her thing. So maybe I needed to get another way. So I asked, so what do we do? So very first I was told, no, we can invest in something else. What did I do? I had to pump another money into the next business, which my business, which I started, had flopped. So I had to pump other money or capital to a new business to start another business, which I did. I'm still in Bahrain, guys. I want you to get this story right, because I'll go to the main topic today. I'm giving an example so you understand what I'm going to talk about. So I pumped money again into a new business, and we started a new business. The new business did not even take 3 months. In the second month, I was just told by a friend that, what happened? You closed down the first business. What happened? I could not explain it. So, and we thought, are you part of the business that I saw started, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, I'm part of it. What happened? But it is never open. Nowadays, it is closed for almost a week or two. So I was like, okay, maybe there's something that is not right somewhere. So again, to cut the story short, after 2 years, I had to go back home. So understand me, believe me or not, after leaving home to Bahrain, leaving a business that was a big business, not just a small business, and then again pumping money to start another business, and you get back home with totally nothing out of these two businesses. The first one flopped, there's nothing, not even 1% of it, no stock, no money, nothing can be accounted for. So you rubbish it. Okay, you put people down and you ask them, all right, now let's talk about the second business. What happened? And then somebody tries to explain to you that, you know what happened? When I was going to take the second stock, because the first stock I took and it started well, I sold it, everything was good, so I went for the second stock. Unfortunately, along the way, I was robbed and the money was taken away from me. And I'm like, if you were robbed for 1 year, you never shared this with me. You've been quiet. In the messages, you've been telling me the business is going on well. So did you share this with any other person apart from me? The thing was, I was afraid to share because I was afraid, what are you going to think about? Or what you will say? And so being somebody, I thank God that I was born in a Christian family. I was born to fight. My parents died when I was still young, so I knew how to start from whatever, whether it's low, whether it's on top. You give me 1 million, I know how to handle it. You take it away from me, I know how to handle myself. So I calmed down and I said, I don't know what to do. I went to my grandmom. I talked to my grandmom, but my grandmom told me one thing. My grandmom told me that, you know what, John, you are still young. You're energetic. You have everything. I know you are the wisest grandson that I have. You can still make this. Forgive people, because human beings will always disappoint you. Then I told myself, yes, I will forgive, but I will never forget. So I canceled all the plans, because I had a lot of plans with this kind of person, the family member. I had a lot of plans with them. I canceled all the plans. I took a flight back to Bahrain. So from there, we had to talk. I talked to my sister. My sister advised me. My sister, being a project manager, she knew it. And she used to, kind of talk, what you're doing is not right. But I was adamant. So what happened, to cut the story short, I lost everything. And from there, what I went through, that period of losing everything to somebody that I so much trusted, so much, not just trusting, but I trusted so much, losing everything to them. And, without a reason, a good reason to, when somebody loses some things with a good reason, you can always forgive and try it again. I learned my lesson. And this is what I did. Since 2018 March, I became a very different person to so many people, especially when it comes to finance.